This is a client of ours. A very true story. This client was brilliant at selling. This client basically was an engineering business. And this particular client felt that all his problems would be addressed by more sales. Every one of them would be actually resolved. Just sell more. His gifting was sales. You know, there's an old principle, sales covers a multitude of sins. Just sell more. Now have a look at this, because this is interesting. You can see his revenue growth is 10%, his cost of goods is 65%, so his overheads are 35%. The interest rate is 11%. His days receivable are 83 days, his days inventory are 55 days, and he's got his days payable are 57 days. The results are quite simple. Remember I told you the three key measures? Let's actually look at the three key measures. Profitability is 1%. This is a rocking business of a $20-odd million, 1% return. Profit. Now have a look at something else. His cash flow was $62,000. He basically had to invest $62,000 a year to keep the business functioning. Now he did that because he had a bank overdraft. Now if you do need a bank overdraft, I'm actually suggesting that do get one. Right? Because one of the greatest things in running a business, especially initially, if you are not equipped for it, it's the fear of cash flow poverty. It happened to me. I was in the corporate world. I had the shit. I had the free houses. I had the kids in private school. I had the wife not working. You felt I earned a lot of money. I didn't earn a lot of money because I didn't keep any of it. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And then I go out there and I one day decide, because I had this amazing insight that I should be helping people. Okay, it's time, I said. It's time to help people. And I walk out of my corporate career in one day. I start up a business in one day. But you know what I do? Insanely stupid. I try to keep all the toys that I've still got. I nearly crippled myself for the first 2 years. I take on anybody that's got a pulse. I said, they've got a pulse, I'll take them as a client. I hated some of the clients. The only reason I took them is because I needed the money. If I now know what I know now, all right, I would have lived way within my means. And I strongly suggest that if you're about to go into business, if you and your partner are not on board in understanding the cash flow challenges, don't do it. I've seen marriages destroyed over businesses. I've seen people who can't let go of the shit that they've actually got. They can't see the long term. They want it all. And I believe you'll have it all. But there's a time and there's a place. And that's challenging. But you've got to get that right now. And have a look at this. Return on capital employed is 3%. Now, not fantastic. Initial rating. Profit's pretty weak. Cash flow's weak. Return on capital employed's weak. When approached with the information, the client came to the conclusion that all I need is to increase sales. He wanted to increase sales by 20% because he wanted to buy more machinery. Let's have a look. We did some modelling for him. I said, if you go down this path, because you are leaking so much oil at the moment, you're trying to accelerate the engine without fixing up the oil leaks. What happened? This is after a 20% increase in sales. Profitability was 1%. Look at the cash flow. You've got to put more money in. And return on capital employed's not great. So we said to him, like, hey guys, let's try a different strategy. Let's stop the oil leaks first. Why don't we keep exactly the same level of sales? And And why don't we try to work on the other parameters that drive your business from a cash flow perspective? First of all, let's reduce cost of goods by 4%. His greatest cost of goods, being a manufacturer, was labour. We created bonus schemes in the business. We started to actually reward people on achievement, not movement. They got highly geared, highly productive. We looked at the way they were doing things. There was a lot of duplication. There was a lot of bad ways of doing certain things. Reduced overheads by 4% in 1 year. How? We just ripped it apart. We looked at telecommunication costs. Insurance. Man, just got to ask. Stationery. We got receivables down by 23 days. Got the Olga. Got inventory down by 9 days. You know, if the stock's crap, it's crap. Get rid of it. Doesn't get any better. If you're going to cut quickly. I mean, if you've got bad stock somewhere, get rid of it. Bundle it with some good stock. And we got his payables up by 3 days. Nothing profound. Now let's have a look at what happened to the business in 1 year. Profitability went to 10%. Cash flow, 360 odd thousand bucks. Come on. Return on capital employed, 40%. See the switch? It's profound.